A sadhu who was coming by just stopped and started helping them voluntarily and without being asked. And, and it was a good thing to see in such a gloomy day, that because the condition was not good that day in the camp. Everything was wet, places got waterlogged, the scenes were melancholic. At sometimes I remember this instance when this underprivileged family, was trying to keep themselves warm by burning a plastic slipper they found lying somewhere around, or these two widows and the condition in which they had to have their food. But I realized one thing, that in spite of this condition and situation, no one was disheartened, no one was criticizing or lamenting or wailing, because they knew the purpose for which they have come here and they're very sure and firm about it. And I realized there was underlying an undercurrent of cooperation and collaboration going on to take back things back into normalcy. And I thought that one could learn the art of acceptance and tolerance from this kind of experiences and turn it to something purposeful and positive. So next I'll show you some the series of photographs that I took of the famous Naga sadhus during on the day of the Shahi Snan. Now Shahi Snan are the days when actually the holy baths takes place. Some specific dates and days during the Kumbh Mela. It's calculated on the basis of some astronomical, astrological study or positions. And the Naga sadhus, India's famed naked holy men, they renounced the worldly attractions and suffering by leading a life of complete austerity and complete celibacy and rejecting any material possession, even their clothes. Their body is smeared in ashes. Now, these Naga sadhus are the warrior sect of the Sanatan Dharma. They are believed to safeguard the Sanatan Dharma for years, and are believed to have popularized by Adi Shankaracharya to mainly to at a time when Buddhism was spreading fast and it was required to arrest it. However, they are the Shivites, the followers of Shiva. They emulate his fiery nature, and in their attitude, their body language and actions, they would wield their swords and battle axes and tridents, and will walk with their head held high. But they are only to be found in the cities during the Kumbh Mela days, where when they would come from the ashrams from Himalayas and other places. And days other than the Shahi Snans, you will find them sitting there quietly inside their tents or camps, very uninterested and indifferent to the things around them, smoking up a chillam, not talking. But on the day of the Shahi Snan, they transformed magically and radically. The energy, the vigor, the zeal that they show is something to be seen in person. Before going into the series of the photographs, I would like to tell this about these two comical characters, these two hippies who thought they could just dress up as Naga sadhus and walk with them and bathe with them. Well, they were wrong. The Naga sadhus found out, and it was the police who saved them from a very major embarrassment. There was a funny situation. This is the moment just before the commotion started. So on the day of the Shahi Snan, I reached there early, like 4:30 in the morning. It was very quiet and peaceful at that point of time. I reached the road or the track on which the Naga sadhus would take out the procession and will go towards the river from their camp. And but I could see a large mass of people already gathered on the two sides of the roads. But things were peaceful. I could see people meditating inside the tent at that point of time. And there are these barricades on two sides of the roads, because the Naga sadhus, they are very fiery. They don't obey anyone except their masters. And on the day of the Shahi Snan, they are it would seem they're engulfed with some kind of ecstasy, and they're very unpredictable. And so these barricades are there on two sides of the roads to keep these Naga sadhus away from the common people, or vice versa. But I realized to take some proper photographs of the Naga sadhu, I have to go inside that barricade. And I managed to give the security personnel the slip. And I was waiting inside that road, Then suddenly I heard this trumpet blow behind me. I turned around and I saw the Pradhan of one of the Naga Sadhu Sakra have come out riding on his horse, his hand held high on both sides, signifying both his presence and telling people to give way. And I understood uh, just soon enough why. Because soon the drums would beat and hundreds of Naga sadhus came out charging out of the camp and filled up those places, and instantly the people who have gathered there, they just went up Har Har Mahadev. The Naga sadhus energy, vigor and zeal, and it was something like a spectacle, a show. It was surreal to be like it has to be witnessed to be for once in your lifetime. And I saw this young boy, and I didn't know that a boy as young as him can be a Naga. It was very interesting, and soon they made their way towards the river. Some would pose for the camera, some also blessed me, and they were all wearing this garland around him or on their head, but they entered the water in a tumult and they started playing with it and spraying the water over each other, laughing just like children. And then later on, someone told me that Naga sadhus are actually called the children of the Ganges. And after they took that holy dip, uh, they were so joyful and they went to a celebration mood, showing their joy and achievement with whatever way they can. And and this is when I had that painful experience. Or from, like I saw this Naga sadhu being carried on the shoulder, and these Naga sadhus are considered to be holy men, so you're not allowed to go in the middle of them or touch them. And but I thought that I have to go in that spot to get a good angle, and I was outside the barricade at that point of time. But I crossed the barricade, somehow went to the middle, caught some shots, and I just about to turn and go away when I felt the bamboo stick fall on my right shoulder very heavily. It was very painful. It was one of the supervisors, his way of telling me to get out. But I was happy it didn't hit my camera, and and I periodically I have this pain always, and it will be with me in the future. But that's okay. Then no, I didn't see any Naga sadhu hitting someone. It was always a supervisor. I saw a supervisor chasing two French videographers who have decided to go into the water with them while they were bathing. But the way the Naga sadhus walked around with their weapons, like the swords and the axes, uh, anyone would think twice before going near them. But after this holy bath, they really looked liberated to me. They were very joyful, cheerful. I'm very fortunate to able to make go very close to them and make such photographs. They were celebrating all the way along, and I saw whenever they came out of the akras, there was some invisible force that were pulling them towards the river. They will not walk. They were like always running or like brisking towards the river, and someone even like leaped uh, in such energy and such effort. So this went on for like about an hour. So after the Naga sadhus, the regular sadhus came in, the monks, and after that the riverfront was opened for the general masses, the common people. And then I saw millions of people descending and taking a holy dip in the water. I would see the young and the old, the mother sprinkling water on his baby and praying for a good life, and an elderly couple easing into the water, holding on to each other. But after this holy dip, after taking that bath, they really believe that they have purified themselves. They really believe they have cleansed themselves of all the sins. The old people would believe that now they have cleansed them of all the sins, they are going to heaven. And that happiness, that joy was genuine. And it was genuine and it was common across all the faces, be it the sadhus, be it the common people. And there was a and there was this joy around. There was this ecstasy. If it's common for all, for the sadhus and or the late women or the people, everyone shared that that same belief. And I thought that that is a massive act of faith in itself. So before ending my slide talk today, I would like to say that I was not able to capture the Mela in totality. It was impossible for me to do so, and I think it's impossible for any photographer or any videographer or by some writer. Basically, the Mela captured me in all its aspects. And one thing I realized, most important one, is that uh, these millions of people who were coming in, some were coming in overcrowded bus, trains, bullock carts, some came walking, and the rich would charter the aeroplanes and the helicopters to get in there. People were living in under the open sky, or someone was living in Swiss tents in lavishly. But all of these people, the rich and the poor, believed in a common cause, a common purpose, a common belief, which broke the boundaries among them. And that was very important to me. That was a very important lesson to me, because I thought and I think that how good it would be if all this million of people would try the same act, the same way they have did in the Mela, and do something fruitful and constructive that would make a better future for all of us. It's the same way they did in the Mela, together for a common purpose, with the boundaries, like breaking the boundaries and other things. And if they do that, that result would create something larger than life, and the result would come effortlessly and easily. Yeah. So I end my talk over here. Thank you so much. Yeah.
I'm sure there will be some questions, so you better stay on over there.
No, this is from 2013, the Mahakumbh that was held in Allahabad.
Hello.
And of course, there have been quite a few people who have joined this Mela right in the last 10 minutes. They must have missed out on a lot of these slides. They're responsible. But those who are present may give some comments or even ask questions. Yes, Aru. Oh yeah, okay. Use the microphone.
Yeah, I just have a rejoinder, no question, please. I think, Raju, would you please agree with me that it is high time that we rectify the mistake of calling Nanga sadhus Naga sadhus. So it is high time that we change this. There is nothing called Naga sadhus. They are Nanga sadhus, meaning naked.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So you said that you managed to sneak in, and some foreigners also sneaked in order to have that bath along with the Naga sadhus.
Now the bath, to photograph them. Yes.
No, into the river. They went with them towards the river.
Yeah.
Now, is there any law prohibiting anyone else? What prevents the rest of the people from having a dip in the river? Why only those set of Naga sadhus are allowed to go into the river?
Yeah, I
officially.
know. Yeah. There's no official law.
Why can't you go? Why can't Mr.
can.
Raju Raman go? Why can't he go if he wants to?
We can go basically, but that is because I think for our safety, because of what I saw, these sadhus were so fiery, and they were very unpredictable. Like they just don't allow anyone near them when they go towards the river. So, and one of the policemen basically told me, I was standing outside the barricade. The two of the policemen told me, look, sir, if you're inside that barricade, we won't come to rescue you. We won't dare to go and rescue you, because if I touch a Naga sadhu, I would be questioned. That Naga sadhu or the Nanga sadhu won't be questioned. But if you're outside that barricade, we will save you. So that is there. I mean, this Nanga sadhus are given exclusive bath, because in our religious society or norms, they are the first one to go and take a dip.
Afterwards, others can go.
Yes. The same thing. That riverfront, that confluence is common for everybody. It's only where the Nanga sadhus are allowed to go into the river first, then the regular sadhus go, and then like the common people like me and the others go there.
It's like boarding an aircraft.
Yeah. Priority pass goes to the Nanga sadhus. Yeah. Yeah, they started at 5 o'clock in the morning that day.
You see, I think the 340 is not uniform every
Yeah,
time. You see, the
yeah, yeah,
auspicious
yeah.
moment differs
Exactly,
from
yes.
Kumbh Mela to Kumbh Mela, and that is the time they go
Because
there
that,
by, my understanding is right.
yeah, because that day I remember it would start from 5 o'clock, and it would end around 3:30 in the afternoon. So anyone who was wishing to purify their sins, who believe
And
basically
in
have,
that time there are also times,
yeah, there are also times, some periods.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, please.
Yeah, yeah.
First of all, let me congratulate you for your brilliant
Please use the
photography.
microphone, yeah.
And
Thank you so
what
much.
camera did you use? Because aesthetically, I mean, it's out of this world.
That one, it was 2013, so I used a Canon
Canon.
Mark D Mark II, Canon
Okay.
5D Mark II.
And just my personal experience, I had been there when I was 4 years old.
Yes.
Our parents dragged us, and the bathing scene, where we call the Dub Deva, we showed the women,
Yeah.
right? It's so true and so vivid. I could connect in so many ways. And when the sadhus passed by,
Yeah.
remember my mother said, "No, don't you all go near them at all."
Yeah.
As children, there's always a tendency to run, curiosity. But very correct you are that one shouldn't go near them because it's their way of offering their worship.
Yeah, because I was with three other persons. One of my friend, Dhiman Banerjee, is a dentist, and he got slapped by one of the supervisor because he was just leaning over the barricade, and they were coming charging in, and the supervisor was just running beside the Naga sadhus and slapping whoever was near the barricade. It's like that, and there's no one will tell anything because that is supposedly the unwritten norms or law over there.
Would you know where they live?
One place I know of is in an ashram in Varanasi,
Itself.
and another is near Joshi Mott,
Okay. that's
another
why we
also in
had
ashram
taken,
in Nasik. It's not like all of them live in the Himalayas.
But also perhaps near Haridwar?
Haridwar also.
Yeah,
yes.
because we were
Yeah,
taken
Haridwar.
right up till
Yes,
Haridwar
yes.
and also dips there.
Yeah.
Dangerous, freezing cold dips, but it was worth it. We saw the Naga sadhus. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Yeah.
So many of yourself.
Well, he did today. Thank
Right,
you.
anybody else? Yeah.
These Nanga sadhus, some of them, they have their staying residence around Kankhal, near Haridwar.
Haridwar. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
অ্যাকচুয়ালি নাঙ্গা বা নাগা নিয়ে ব্যাপারটা না, ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে ধর্মের রক্ষক যারা তাদের নাম হচ্ছে নাঙ্গা সাধু। এটা যখন আমাদের
Adi Shankaracharya.
আদি শঙ্করাচার্য মঠগুলো স্থাপন করেন, উনি হিন্দু ধর্ম রক্ষার্থে এই ব্যাপারটা করেছিলেন। এই জন্যে নাগা সন্ন্যাসী যারা, তারা ধর্মের কারণে এদের এছাড়াও এর আগেও একটা গণ্ডগোল হয়েছিল, সেটা বৈষ্ণবদের সঙ্গে, ঠিক আছে? এদের মধ্যে যতগুলো আমাদের ইয়েগুলো আখড়া আছে বিভিন্ন ধর্মীয় সম্প্রদায়ের, তাদের মধ্যেও বিরোধ আছে, সেটা নিয়েও গণ্ডগোল আছে, সেগুলো আলাদা ব্যাপার। এদের একটা নিয়ম রীতি আছে। তো নাঙ্গা কথার অর্থ কিন্তু ধর্মের রক্ষক। নাঙ্গা মানে নাঙ্গাও নয়, নাগাল্যান্ডও নয়। আমাকে এটা বারে বারে মুখোমুখি হতে হয়েছে, সবগুলো কুম্ভতে আমি গেছি রিপিটেডলি। সেই জন্যেই যারা ওখানের মহামণ্ডলেশ্বর ছিলেন তাদের সঙ্গেও বসতে হয়েছিল। এই সব কারণেই এই ব্যাপারগুলো, ভুল ধারণাগুলো আমাদের যা আছে সেগুলো জানা গেছে। আমারও আগে এইরকম ধারণা ছিল।
যাক, অনেক ধন্যবাদ এটা ক্ল্যারিফাই করে দিলাম, any of them, either of them.
In the Kumbha Mela, at one place, one sadhu is called Kathia Baba, and he is a 700 years old, as the people are telling.
Good.
And
Yeah.
do you believe it?
I have a person who is 300 years old, and he is younger than you.
So, when I was in Allahabad or Prayagraj, there is one Devar Baba. He used to live in the northern part of the Mela, and there was a bamboo hut erected on some sturdy bamboo poles, and people would every day throng to that place in hope to see this Baba, just like everybody goes to Mumbai and stand up, like outside Shah Rukh Khan's or Amitabh Bachchan's house for a glimpse of this sadhu, because this sadhu is believed to be 250 years old. But very few people have actually have seen him. He never comes out of that place.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
have Aadhaar cards or date of
Yeah,
birth, so they
yeah.
can't get anywhere. So, yes, please.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Dutta, for this beautiful film. What a learning experience it was.
Thank you.
Lakhs of people chasing with so limited resources, sharing all that they have in a spirit and a wonderful spirit, amazing spirit of cooperation and collaboration, shunning greed totally, just living on the barest minimum. So all of us, I mean, it's a lesson for the people of the world that if we can live in this spirit of cooperation, collaboration, all these problems of this world and troubles
Exactly.
can be solved in a trifle. And my question to you is here, this is a common people among educated classes that the people who visit most of the people who visit the Kumbha Mela, it's a superstition that they are visiting the Kumbha Mela is a superstition that, getting liberation or purifying of their sins is only a superstition. This is according to the so-called educated classes. Now my question is, as society gets more and more socially, educationally, and economically, grow progressively and as they advance, socially, educationally, and economically. Do you think this craze for the Kumbh Mela will decrease? This is only a question. What's your study on it? What's your take on it?
I think it won't basically, because our social norms and belief is prevailed for thousands of change have remained unchanged for thousands of years. So I think it would be okay to believe that it will remain so for the next thousands of years. And the thing is, the so-called educated people, I think I would constrict it morely to the urban people, because in the rural areas, even the educated people also believe in this kind of ideas, and they are yet to come out of it. But to me, I think there is what we call the superstition.